Hello, my name is Glenn Montalvo, and I'm the developer of SuperZero. It's a game on the Run platform. SuperZero is a Slay the Spire like deck builder wrapped in like a 90s comic book superhero comic. Um, the main idea behind it is the fantasy of exploring different superpowers, and like all the art is, you know, should should invoke like more like retro style comics. Um, that's the main theme. In the game, you pick a power, and then you build a deck around that power. So um, you do that by fighting in battles, and then at the end of the battle, you get to pick a card. Or sometimes there's other things like encounters, where it's like you get to pick between a couple different options between how an encounter should go down. Yeah, so you can get like cards, you can get gear to get you stronger, and you're essentially just trying to get stronger as you play a mission until you get to the boss, and then the boss fight is like the climactic finish. There's a variety of different mission types. I'm playing around with the Slay the Spire formula to have a bunch of different different ideas and different sort of game modes to play around with. Um, it's much shorter though. It's you know the the mission the runs are much quicker because there's only like one level, and yeah, they're different things. Instead of like just going up, there's missions that you're traveling around the city map, or the idea is like you're trying to defend something, and so you get to pick like a couple enemies at a time. There's a couple different mission types, and they play a little bit differently, and they kind of have different strategies. Like some you might want to be more defensive and have more defensive cards in, because you can customize your deck in the beginning. You can up to 3 cards, which kind of change the dynamic of things. It's kind of a game that's easy to learn and deep to master. At least that's the intent there. Each power has its own sort of feel, like flame stacks burn on enemies, where ice is more about there's a couple ways to play them, but ice is more about like trying to freeze an enemy, and so they don't get to act. Super speed, it's more about like you can draw tons of cards, play tons of cards, have a bunch of little cheap cards that are really fast and quick to play. Lightning can spread static around the battlefield, but she also can she has a lot of like random attacks where she randomly hits enemies and stuff like that. So the idea is that each power plays differently, feels unique, and kind of invokes that what that superpower would be like in some sense. In addition to that, each power can be played multiple ways. Each one has like 2 to probably about 4 different ways they could play. Yeah, experimenting is a lot of fun with how you play and trying to figure out like what the best build is, or what how I'm going to make these cards work based on what cards I have. As you play, you'll expand your library of cards, and you'll have options, more powers and cooler powers and stuff like that, so that you can potentially get your combo better. Because once you figure out your combo for your deck for your power, that's where it feels a lot of fun. Where you have it, and you can win any battle because you have the right cards. You can just like with ice, you can constantly freeze them, or with super speed, you're taking you're playing like tons of different cards before they even get a turn, stuff like that, to make the power feel like it's what it's supposed to be. So there's a lot of like high replayability there, and I think there's a lot of high variance there. There's also multiple campaigns, each with its own unique villains, and then we're also having live events. Right now, like the City in Crisis event is going on. It's just about finishing up, really, where there's 5 different supervillains, and then one is unleashed on the city once a day, and as you play, you're trying to defeat the villain, but you're also trying to rescue civilians. And as you rescue those civilians, you unlock new stuff like trophies for like progression, and then the like card frames and cosmetic stuff like that for the game. On top of that, there's like hero progression where you can you slowly get your hero better and better, so it's easier to take down the same villain and stuff like that. But as you play, you'll upgrade cards too, so that your hero will get stronger in that way, and you'll get used to them and figure out how to play them, and that's where a lot of the fun is, I think. But yeah, it's kind of bite-sized, Slay the Spire, because that's kind of like a longer game. But yeah, but I think it's turned out pretty well, and I hope you have fun playing it. I hope you give it a shot, and yeah, thanks for watching.